Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Detroit Red Wings franchise mode here in NHL 21. So in last episode, we had a draft day trade trading UC Kolymainen to the Florida Panthers alongside our first round pick, which was 10th overall, and a third round pick to move up all the way to the 4th overall pick. With that selection, we managed to grab a nice new young sniper, which I'm very excited about to see how his season is, in Isaac Dika. Now, this guy had 49 goals in Winnipeg of the WHL. He looks like he's going to be probably a pretty good player because his shooting categories are off the charts. But then again, in the draft, he was like the third best sniper in the draft, and there was one power forward as well, which is ridiculous. Like, this draft was pretty good in the first top 5. So, very excited to see how Isaac Dika could do for us this upcoming season. And yeah, pretty much that's that. So the trade with Kolymainen I think made sense for our team to do. I don't think I actually took a look to see what Florida drafted with those picks we gave away. So I should actually take a look at that. So they probably signed whoever it was, which would be in the system. Let's sort by age. And then go to the ones that are actually signed. So they might have drafted Law. No, Law was a 4th round pick. Kerman. Okay, so they got Tommy Kerman. So they actually got a pretty good defenseman that's NHL ready, but he's only a top 4. So this is basically who we traded away directly to get our forward, our sniper. So yeah, Tommy Kerman. We didn't really need a defenseman. Well, we could have used a defenseman, but that still would have been anyways. This guy might not pan out. You never know. Because some of the top 6 kind of guys that are right out of the draft, they don't develop right away. But yeah, this guy still might be a really good defenseman. He's an offensive defenseman too. So we might have made a mistake to an extent, but I think I still like the getting rid of the contract situation for Kolymainen. And then I think, yeah, we gave up our third as well. Which means if we gave up our third, they probably did not sign whoever it was, I would assume, but they might have. Oh wait, this one might have been it. So they might have drafted like Maurice Burrows or something like that with the 3rd round pick we gave them, I would assume. Yeah, it's probably somebody like that. So anyways, yeah, that was pretty much what we did in the last episode, and our team is now a lot better in terms of our cap situation. However, we are probably still going to be making another trade in this episode. I know I said probably I wouldn't be making any off-season trades, but we did come across a couple because Hawksfan mentioned some, which I will get to in a second. But the player that's basically going to be on the block and getting dealt is going to be probably Bullion, which really kind of sucks, but we're basically replacing him with Dika because Dika's younger, and then Bullion, his like offense has gone down the tubes a bit. Like, he had 55 goals and 100 points, then dropped to 91 points, 48 goals, went back up to 50 goals, 98 points. But he's been kind of dropping off the last 3 years, and his overall is down to an 83 and a top 9. Like, he could still definitely shoot the puck, but his power is not there anymore almost, so he's probably not going to be scoring as much as he used to. And then also, what was it that I wanted to check? Like, he had a really good playoffs like last year or 2 years ago when we won the Stanley Cup. He had 16 goals in those 22 games. Yeah, like, he was a very influential piece to the team, but then the next season afterwards, he only had 2 goals in 14 games in the playoffs, so his playoff production is probably going to drop off more if we are to get to the playoffs. So it makes sense to move on from Bullion, and he's probably going to be retiring soon. And then we get rid of that $9.2 million cap hit that he has. So we're probably going to be trading him away, but I will get to Hawks fans' comment now because he has who we're going to be trading for. So he says, I think it would be the smartest to trade away some of your older guys and get some younger players instead. I think the team needs a fresh start. One guy I think you should go after is Belanger on the Islanders, a 20-year-old, 75 overall playmaker, or center playmaker. And I was like saying, I'm like, I don't know if we could really get rid of anybody, because I think this team could go back to the playoffs, honestly, with the way we're set up. But so I was looking afterwards, and then I figured that Bullion and 35% straight up for Belanger might actually get it done. The reason we have to retain salary on this deal, though, is because the Islanders would be over the cap hit by quite a bit. Like, as you can see right now, they could only afford up to like $5 million around, maybe a little bit under. But if we give them somebody like Bullion, they go over by $5 million. So we're going to have to retain 35% of this deal, which is not terrible, I would say, because we're only retaining like $3 million for the next like maybe year or so while he's retiring. So I don't think it's a bad deal. So we retain 35%. And then we take back with that prospect that Hawks fans was mentioning, which was Belanger. And then our team looks something like this. If we make this deal, I think it looks good. I think we should be able to get this deal done because they do want Bullion. We want Belanger. And yeah, they get another really good forward for their core, because right now at the moment they don't really have the greatest forward core. Like, they have some really good top 6 guys, but they don't really have that third or fourth line scoring kind of guys. So Bullion's like the perfect fit for them. So let's see if this goes through. So actually, maybe I could add something to my side, because I feel like I could maybe get back a pick just because I'm retaining salary. I don't know. Let's try and throw in a 4th rounder, but I probably won't be able to get a 4th. But let's see. Bullion for Belanger in a 4th. That's accepted. Okay. They think they came ahead in this deal here, but I think that was a good deal for us. It really sucks to get rid of Bullion, because Bullion's been an instrumental piece, but I think it had to be done. It also saves us more salary cap going into next year's offseason for those other crucial players, and I think it's going to help us clear more cap and be a better team potentially. So also, when I was talking with Hawks fan, he was mentioning about some other things we could do with this team, and he was saying also a few players that I think you should go after in free agency if you want to make a cup run are defenseman Punovs, and there was also a third line power forward S. Cole that I think would be great for the team. It would also be a good idea to get some better top 6 D-men, because your third pairing was bad last season. So we are going to be signing S. Cole, and we're going to be signing Punovs, and then there's also some other players I wrote down to sign. So because we do need to address like our backup goaltending situation and all that type of stuff with the amount of cap we have left. So let's go to free agency, and we now have $27 million in cap space, which is really nice to see, because we were pretty tight up against the cap for the last 2 seasons. So yeah, I'm pretty glad about that. So let's go to these contracts and start off with probably the defenseman. I guess we could just go after Punos to start off with, which he's an 83 overall defenseman. If we sort by overall, he's one of the best, and he potentially also actually fits our top pairing and also our penalty kill, which is also a bonus. So we are going to give him a contract. Let me just take a look at his career stats. Like, his career plus minus isn't great, but most of those times I think he was on a bad team when those plus minus was hit. So he's like a minus 118 in his career, which is really bad. But we'll still bring him in anyways. And I will give him a 1-year deal only for now, because of the fact I have no idea how good he's going to be. And Los Angeles is also interested in him, but I have enough cap space where I could just go to like 1 year at like $8 million and easily get him in for the team, I think. Unless LA somehow manages to steal him. So we bring in Punos as our defenseman for the top 2 pairing. Then we get into our goaltending situation. So like I said, we need a backup goalie behind Stevenson, and I was looking through all the backups on which one kind of simulated the best and which one had some really good statistics. Now, the obvious choice would probably be somebody like Lincoln Marlowe. This guy gets a lot more wins and losses, but his career save percentage and goals against aren't great, and then in the playoffs, if he does play, his numbers aren't that great either. So I don't really know if I want to bring him in, to be honest. And then we go to somebody like Kenny Blanchard. This guy has not that great of stats all around. Like, he's had some okay seasons, but he's not that good of a goalie still, it seems like. And he's a little bit older. Then we go to somebody like Jang, for example. This guy's only played 1 NHL game. And I think he's got kind of like somewhat statistical growth, because if you could look back to 2031-32, he had a really good season in the AHL. And in his rest of his numbers are not been great since then. And in his playoff numbers are only AHL wise. So I don't really think he's going to be that good. And he's only 28, but I don't think I want to bring him in. And then there's also like Churn, for example. Churn's not that good of a goalie, but he's been on a pretty bad team, I think, for most of the years in this. But he's never had anything above a .908 save percentage. And he's never played a playoff game. So I think the obvious choice here is to bring back Francis Nguyen. Even though he is 33 and he's the oldest of the bunch, he always simulates above 500. If we look at save percentage wise, he's had a lot of really good save percentage seasons. We go to goals against wise, he's had some pretty good goals against seasons. He also picks up a decent amount of shutouts in his time in the AHL. And then if we go by season, his most recent season with Arizona, he was 12-1 on that team. He had a 2.26 goals against average and a 919 save percentage, so he was really good for Arizona. And if we go to the other Arizona goalie that is available in free agency, which I think was Easton Cracknell, he was nowhere near as good on the same team. So I think that means that Francis Nguyen is a really good simulator if he actually simulates well on a team that is supposed to be not as good as the starter is. So I think we got to bring back Francis Nguyen for at least 1 year. He wants 2 years at $850, which is kind of skeptical that he might drop off. But I think it might be worth it, so we'll just give him the 2 years like he wants, and we'll bring him back to Detroit. He's a relatively cheap player anyways, and it gives us a former player of ours coming back and making a return, so that'll be pretty cool. Sorry about that, trying to fight off a sneeze because my allergies have been bugging me like the last 3 days. So anyways, so we'll sign Nguyen as our backup option. So now we got to sign S. Cole, which Hawksman was mentioning. Now the only problem about S. Cole is he doesn't actually match our system, but he is still a decent point producer. His individual attributes are very weird, I should say, because he's got 73 offensive awareness, but 93 passing, 96 puck control, 99 slap shot power, but then the rest of the shooting categories are pretty bad. And then you get into his defensive stats, that's where he's really good apparently, so that actually really helps us out in the bottom 6, I think, defensively. Hopefully he can produce decently at the offensive level as well, because he had 50 points with New Jersey last year and he had no power play time, so that's kind of impressive. But he probably won't have any good chemistry with our team, but we still will pick him up because he's actually a decent option. We'll give him the 1 year that he wants and 4.95. It's a little bit expensive for an 81, but I will take it. He's only 30, so he does have multiple years left before he probably retires. So now that we brought in him, we need to also a fourth line center, because I was looking at our team right now and we're kind of bare on centers, because I was thinking of running like Powell's second line, probably running Hobbs on the third line, which means we technically still need a fourth line center. And I found like the perfect player that's almost pretty much like a Perrin type of player that we used to have here, and that is Timo Jaskalainen. This guy is a very good face-off man, 89 face-offs. Everything else is not fantastic. He actually has really good offensive awareness. His defensive awareness is not that great apparently, but if we go to his last season, even though his plus minus was pretty bad, if we go to his like face-off stats, like he's always winning a lot of face-offs. So that's mainly why I want to bring him in, is to win faceoffs on that fourth line. Also, his takeaway giveaway ratio is not terrible, so that's also a good thing. So we will bring him in as our fourth line center, and we'll give him 1 year and give him a little bit more. Okay, and then finally we need a top 6 defenseman to play on our top 6 pairing. Now we do have like guys like Regier and Korea that could play on the top 6, and Medvedov, but it is still a little bit of a weaker top 6. Now the only weird thing about this franchise mode that I'm finding right now is there's like 80 overalls listed as top 4s. There's 79 overalls listed as top 4s, so it's like really hard to find actually a top 6 defenseman that's actually better than the 78, which is ridiculous. Now, I don't really know who to go after because I didn't actually write down a name, because I was looking through all these guys and I wasn't sure who I wanted to bring in. But I think I will go to a guy I was looking at, and that is Semenov, who used to play in Boston when we played against him a few years ago in the playoffs. Now, this guy was a +5 a couple years ago when they're actually a good team for once. He had 15 points, which is pretty respectable. And if we go to his block shot wise, he blocks a lot of shots. He doesn't throw a lot of hits, but he does give away the puck a lot, which is a bit skeptical, but I think I'll still take a chance on him. This guy beat us in the playoffs, so might as well sign him up. And he's relatively cheap, and he's a right-handed defenseman as well, which is a good thing. And he's also a two-way defender, so if we're playing him against alongside somebody like Korea on the top 6, who's a DFD, I'm pretty sure, at least there should be some chemistry, I think. Actually, I didn't want to go back, god damn it. Didn't want to go back to contracts either, but let's go and sign him up. And then that's all we need to sign, and we should still have a lot of money in cap space, which means we could technically, if we wanted to, go after even another player, but I don't think I'm going to do that. But we could always trade for good players and stuff like that if our team is actually simulating well, because we still don't know how this team's going to simulate. And we have to actually start up the season still in this episode. We probably won't simulate too much because we are kind of deep into this episode already. So 1 year, and he wants 2.5, which is a little bit pricey for a 78 overall, but we'll give him it just because might as well. So there you go, that is the contract, and those are the contracts. So now let's advance a few days, see if we get those guys. Hopefully we do. Really sucks about trading away Bullion, but I'm very excited for Dika. Like, I think if Dika's playing next to like Matthews on the power play, he's gonna do really good. So we get Steven Cole, we get Jatskalainen, we get Nguyen back, we get Punos, we get Semenov. So I think that's everybody, right? Let me just check. I think that's everybody. Let me just start the sim to next season. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's everybody. So I'm going to make a quick jump cut to our edited lines for the upcoming season, and then I will see you guys in a second. Okay guys, so our lineup looks pretty good, I would say, for the most part. It's a little bit weak on the wings, but it might develop better, so I'm okay with it. So we got DeKaiser, Matthews, Dingman still together, Garrison, Powell, and Dika. So Dika's already going to get thrown onto the second line. He's getting played with a pretty good playmaker, Powell, who has 89 passing, so I think that should help out a bit. Now, interesting enough about Dika, even though center is not listed as a position, he can play center if we actually need him to, so that's kind of cool. Garrison is also on the wing. He's another playmaker, so hopefully these guys throw some good passes over to Dika. And then third line wise, we got Corbin, who's going to get a little bit more ice time this year. Hopefully he could score some more goals because he does have very good shooting for the most part. We also got Calvin Hobbs and Steven Cole, who we recently just signed. And then fourth line wise, we got Alexandrov, Jatskalainen, and Wong's going to be on the fourth line. I hope he doesn't complain about his ice time. If he does, we might actually should put him on a penalty kill option, just because I don't want him to be complaining. So I think I'm going to take Matthews off the penalty kill for the time being and just throw in Wong, even though Wong might be in the penalty box most of the time. Oh, okay, that gives it a +1. That's good, just because I need Wong to at least get some more ice time, because or else he's going to complain. So that's basically what our forward core looks like. Not great chemistry, I would say, but solid enough to get it done. Defensively, we got Punos and Biggs, Stewart and Wall on the second pairing, which is really weird, but those guys are both getting pretty old. And then third pairing wise is Korea and Stapleton. So we aren't even going to be playing Semenov this year. And then I also had to send Rigier down to the AHL, and he's making like $3 million this year. So he could always be traded potentially, but yeah, that's pretty much that. And then Hillis and Acker are going to be our depth options also up here, just because Acker's a pretty good shooter, so if he gets thrown in on the top 6, he'll score some goals. And then also Hillis has been a pretty solid player for us when he played him, so that's basically that. And then in terms of our goaltending situation, Stevenson's up to an 86. I don't know if it's just because of the preseason boost, but he's up to an 86. And Francis Nguyen is our backup this season once again. And in AHL-wise, there's the other DeKaiser. We got some really good prospects in there, though. Belanger is there now. He's up to a 77, apparently. Bomick. We got Schumacher. Like, we actually have some pretty solid prospects in this pool already, so it's kind of nice. And then defensively, Orr and Regier Orr has jumped up a lot, which is kind of surprising. Former 4th-round pick of ours. Barry's jumped up a lot, too. Like, our team looks pretty good down there in the AHL as well. So there you go. That's basically our rosters going into this season. Let's start simulating, which should be interesting. Let me actually take a look at the captains. DeKaiser, Dingman, and who's the actual captain? Biggs. I don't know why they never gave Wall a number, because Wall is probably going to be retiring this year. I think I'm going to strip DeKaiser of the alternate captaincy for this season, just because Wall is getting close to retirement, and give Wall the A, because Wall deserves at least some sort of captaincy. I don't know why Biggs got it before Wall. But, yeah, we'll just leave it like that. Those are our jersey numbers in case any of you guys wanted to see that. And actually, I should adjust Stevenson's number because I don't think 3 makes sense for a goalie at all. I don't think I've ever seen a goalie wear number 3, and apparently Wong's wearing number 30. That's why. I guess we'll give Stevenson the good old number 33. Just make him like a Patrick Wall, you know? So there we go, and we'll save that up. And we're ready to go for the 2037-38 season. Not a lot of time left. Hopefully this team can simulate well. We'll probably simulate up to December the 1st, I think, in this episode. And, or actually maybe January the 1st, I don't know. Depends how long this episode actually is right now, because I did actually have to make that jump cut, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how long this episode's been. It's probably been around maybe 20 minutes, I would assume, because it didn't take me long to edit those lines. So preseason-wise, we have a bad preseason, 2-4-1, so I'm okay with that, though. It's because it's preseason, doesn't really matter. Dika led us in points, which is a good sign that he's producing on that second line. 5 points in 7 games. How much goals do you guys think he's going to have by the end of the year? Drop your predictions down below, because I honestly think this guy could probably put up, because he's next to some good playmakers. He's also on the power play unit, like the top power play unit. I'm going to say probably somewhere between 20 and 30 goals should be doable for him. Maybe 25 goals on the dot. Like, I feel like he should be able to score a decent amount because he's next to some good playmakers, but you never know. He could have not that good of chemistry, and that could affect his play or something like that. But I don't see him scoring 40 or 50 goals in his first season because, yeah, even though he's next to some good playmakers, I don't see that happening. But we'll see what happens after this first month. Also, we'll check in on Bullion. Actually, I should quickly check before we simulate. I know I'm going to make this episode a little bit longer, but that is okay because I do want to take a look if where's the player search again? I always forget. Oh, there it is. I want to take a look at where if Coley Minen's still in Florida, or if they managed to trade away his contract, because they were interested in trading him away. So we will do that. Also, we could take a look at Bullion in New York for fun too. So Coley Minen, is he still in Florida? Did I spell his name wrong? I thought I spelled it right. Let me just put it Co, because that should help it. Now it's just gonna only come up the Co's. How did you spell his last name again? What if I went Cole? Oh wait, it's Cole. I don't even remember how to spell it. Let's just go with that. K-O. You can't put K-O. I honestly don't remember how to spell his last name. We'll just go to Florida then instead, in the edit players screen, just to see if he actually is still in Florida. And yes, he is. Okay. So they still kept him around for the offseason, weren't able to trade him away. Should be interesting to see how he does there. And then Bullion in New York. Is he still there? Right wingers. Did they trade him away? Did they trade away my boy Bullion after we traded him there? If they traded away Bullion right after we traded him there, that's kind of weird, but because they did actually need somebody like that. Let me take a look at that player search again. Yeah, this episode's going to be a little bit longer because I'm looking at former players, but I like doing that because why not? Bullion, let's see. And yep, he's still with the Islanders, but they put him in the AHL for now. Maybe it's just the end of the preseason. I don't know. But yeah, they're playing him in the AHL, which is really weird. He dropped down to an 82 bottom 6 forward, so kind of makes sense that he's maybe getting thrown down to the AHL, but maybe not. I don't know. Maybe they'll call him up at some point, but if he stays in the AHL for the entire year, I'm going to be a little bit pissed off with the Islanders because they should be playing him because he's a good player. He'll score them like 30 goals at least if they play him in the NHL. Okay, anyways, let's go to November the 1st, see how we do in our first month of action with this new look team as Wall goes down with an injury to start the season, but it's not too long term. That kind of sucks because Wall is getting old, so maybe he's getting more injury prone. And we're getting slammed with injuries out of the gate as Alexandrov goes down with a mild concussion. At least these ones aren't that long term. But man, that sucks to have 2 injuries right off the gate. So we got to take Semenov out. It's going to be weird seeing how Wall's points are being him on the second pairing instead of the first. Because Biggs was better than him last year. So that's why I'm doing that. And Alexandrov is back as well, which is good news. Which means we got to take out Hillis. But yeah, our team is, I wouldn't say our team is that great right now overall wise. Wow, Wong went back up to an 81. Is he okay with his ice time? hasn't said anything about that. I might have to move him up instead of Malachi Corbin, but Corbin's been good for points. And yeah, we're not off to a great start this season. But, I mean, if we get another lottery pick this year, it's not the end of the world, because at the same time, we're trying to, well, we want to win now, but we don't want to win now to an extent. I don't know. We're 3-7-2. That's not great. I mean, we could always come back this next month, but that is a really bad start for this team. And Caden Matthews leading with 13 points in 12 games, 2 goals, 11 assists. Let me take a look at the goaltending, if it's the goaltending, because this is the first season for Stevenson as a starter goalie. Yeah, he's not been fantastic. It's not been terrible either, though. And Nguyen, his backup, hasn't been terrible either. So it's not really the goaltending. And yeah, defensively, we've not been bad. It looks like we're just not that good of an offensive team yet, but maybe once Dika starts putting up more goals, we'll be better. But yeah, let's do another month anyways. Like I said, we'll just do to December the 1st just to get our feet a little bit wet. But if this team misses the playoffs, it's definitely not the end of the world, because like I said, we get another good prospect in, and then we could be good maybe closer to the end of the season or next season and stuff like that. So Jose Stewart's been injured. That's like the first injury I think he's suffered in his career, but we've been bombarded by injuries to start this year. Maybe that's the reason we've dropped some games. Maybe it's not. There we go. Stewart's back in. Yeah, this team is not doing good at all. I mean, we're kind of playing a bit better this month, it looks like, but we are losing a lot of games. Like the simulation's like, hey, you're not good enough yet. Peltier making $11.6 million as a 75. No, thank you. I don't want to claim that. I mean, we have at least a lot of cap space available, and we do win a lot of games near the end of the month to put our record to 10-14-3, so that's not too bad. We are working our way back up, but we are way down there at the bottom, which is really weird to see, because after all these years, we were always near the top, but now we're near the bottom. Yeah, we're definitely not scoring enough. If our leading point man has 22 goals in 27 games, or not 22 goals, but 22 points in 27 games. So let's take a look. Actually, we'll do one more month. We'll go to January the 1st, because that's normally where I go to, and because I want to get as much out of our team as possible. We had a good winning streak to end that month, so might as well do one more month and see how we do this month. We start off with a loss, but bounce back with another win. Yeah, this team is kind of streaky. We're losing a lot of games now. We're almost lost every game this month. Yeah, I don't really know what the problem is with this team right now, but I don't think it's the end of the world, because we're building this team up for the future. Well, not really for the future, but for a couple seasons ahead of this, we'll probably try and see if we can make a run for it, because if we get another good prospect, that's going to help us out a lot. Yeah, we're 13-20-7. I don't think we're going to be a playoff team this year, unless we go on like a really absolute tear the rest of the year. And our leading point man is still Dingman with 35 points at 40 games. So, I mean, the last playoff spot in the Eastern Conference has 47 points. Yeah, we're 14 points back. I mean, we could make a Cinderella run, but I don't think this team is going to be a playoff team this year, which is okay, because let's take a look at the draft class. Once again, we don't actually have a lot of scouts, so we don't really know who the unanimous number 1 pick is, but it's probably Gaspard Blanc, which means we'd get another left winger in. There's also Schmidt if we get first overall around. We could get a really good defenseman. So if we get another top 5 pick, I think it's honestly going to be a good thing for this team. But yeah, that's pretty much some of the draft class in case you guys wanted to take a look at that. But let's take a look at how our lines have been doing in terms of points. And then that'll be pretty much it, I think, for this episode. But if you guys want me to make any trades, let me know. I think this team definitely needs more offense, but I don't really think we could make it to the playoffs this year. Like, it seems like we're more of a defensive team right now. So Emir DeKaiser's been playing pretty good, 29 points. He's got 18 goals in 40 games. Matthews has been good, 33 points. So most of it, our offense has been our top line, just like last year. So that's probably why. Garrison's been pretty solid, actually. 23 points in 40 games for the second liner. Only a -1. I like that. Phil Powell so far, 26 points. So maybe our top 6 in general has been pretty good offensively. Like, I mean, 26 points in 40 games is not fantastic, but he's on pace for like 52 points. So that's actually not terrible. And then Isaac Dika has been pretty quiet for the most part. 16 points in 40 games, 8 goals, 8 assists. We might be rushing him a little bit too much. I don't know, but he does take a lot of shots, which is nice. And he has around the same amount of takeaways to giveaways. We could always try and move him down to the third line, just because he does need to eventually develop from a third liner onwards. But yeah, he's been pretty quiet. 8 goals on playing power play wise as well. I might give him third line time because Corbin has been better, or actually maybe not better, but damn, that third line looks like it is bad defensively. Corbin's a -16 this season. He's got 13 points, which is not terrible, but it is kind of terrible. Hobbs has only got 9 points this year. Okay, so yeah, we do have a lack of depth scoring because most of our top 6 is fine for offense. But then you get to guys that are our third line center and stuff like that. These guys are only putting up like single digits almost in points. So I can kind of see why our team has been struggling. Alexandrov's been injured a couple times, but he's got 9 points. Jaskalainen's got 10 points on the fourth line. That's not terrible. He's an even 0. And probably winning a lot of faceoffs. Yep, it's good to see. Wong is only a -21 this year. Or -1 this year, not 21. 8 points for him. That's not too bad. Yeah, so our lack of scoring on our bottom 6 is the main problem, I think, with this team. Also, Dika not performing as much right now. Like, he's definitely going to improve, but I don't know if we're rushing him a little bit too much. And then defensively, Punovs is a -7. Yeah, so this guy's not that good defensively at all. He's only had like 1 career plus season, but it was with a really good Rangers team. Interesting. Biggs has been pretty bad defensively as well. 18 points though in 40 games. Wall and Stewart. Let's see. Wall 9 points only in 38 games. Jeez, his production has dropped off a cliff. Like, this was like his last like hurrah. It seems like 70 points, 60 points, 59 points, 42 points only last year, and now he only has 9 in 38. I mean, last year he had like a really good second half of the year, but he's on pace for a very bad season by comparison to previous years. There's a chance he could retire this year. I don't know. Maybe he'll retire next year. Stewart's a +5, so he continues to be a plus defenseman, and his production has gone down the tubes completely from being a top 2 defenseman. Only 2 assists in 38 games, but still +5, which is nice because he's always been a plus defender for the most part, almost a career +200. And in our top 6 pairing, Stapleton's been pretty solid defensively, which is good. And then Korea's also been pretty solid defensively. So yeah, we're definitely been a good defensive team. We've just not been good offensively. Stevenson has been good, I would say, for the most part. Not the greatest record, but 2 shutouts, a .909 save percentage, and a .286 is not terrible for a first season as a starter. And finally, Francis Nguyen is 2-5-2 with a .905 and a 2.96. So it's one of his first years that he's below 500, but I'll take it, I guess. And then our depth guys that played, no points in 2 games for Hillis and no points in 4 games from Semenov. So that is that. Let me take a quick look at, I just want to see how Kolemäinen and stuff are playing again. So how's Kolemäinen been playing in Florida? Yeah, we're kind of missing his offense to an extent. 25 points in 41 games. He's getting power play time there, which is nice to see. And if we go to the Islanders, are they still playing Bouillon in the minors? Because that's going to piss me off. Yep, they probably are. Yep, they're playing Bouillon in the AHL. Why are you doing this? He's over point per game down there. Call this man up. He deserves justice. Oh, that kind of pisses me off. Because I'm also retaining $3 million for a guy that's playing in the AHL right now. So it's kind of weird. I don't know if I should show you guys the trading block because it might not be that good. I'll briefly skim through this because this episode's getting too long. But if you guys see anything you want me to go after, feel free to pause the video as well while I'm doing this. And let me know if you want me to trade for anything, but I think this team definitely needs to rebuild for 1 year again, just based on how we're playing so far. And yeah, maybe we could find a good defenseman in the draft, or we could grab another really good forward that could eventually play with Dika. Also, what do you guys think about Dika's production so far? Do you think we should probably move him down in the lineup just to kind of get him a little bit more accustomed to the NHL? Because I think we might rush him too much if we continue to play him on the second line and in top line power play. So, wow, there are some really good players in Tampa, but I'm not going to trade for any of them because I don't have that type of value. I would have to give up top prospects, and I don't want to do that. So I don't think there's really much interesting. There might be some good prospects, though, if you guys want me to trade for prospects. But I don't really know who on our roster I would flip away again. So, anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Detroit Red Wings franchise mode. So in next episode, we will sim the remainder of the season. We'll probably make some trades if you guys think they're necessary. And yeah, I think this team definitely needs one more rebuilding year. And then maybe we'll make it back to the playoffs again next year. But yeah, we're kind of running a little bit low on time, which is not good. So let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.